this is a first impression video of the recently aired Chinese web drama, The Lost Tomb 3, 重启之极海听雷. Hi, you're watching Avenue X, where a junkie on good storytelling shares their thoughts, knowledge, and occasional weird ideas on stories and how they're told. The Lost Tomb 3, 重启, the Chinese name literally translates into Reboot, is yet another screen adaptation of the very famous web novel series 盗墓笔记. This book is one of the most famous book in its genre in the web novel world in China, and there have been many screen adaptations of this novel. 重启, the Reboot, is the latest one, starring 朱一龙, Hu Jun, 陈明昊, 黄俊杰, 毛晓彤, 陈楚河, many very well-known names in the Chinese drama land. The drama, as it stands now, is 32 episodes, but that's only the first season. When this drama was made last year, I think the number that they first released was about 70 episodes. This year, when it starts to air, they have divided it into 2 different seasons and cut the drama even shorter. So right now it's around about 66 episodes, rumor has it. So we're not quite sure when the second season is going to come out. But if you want to get into this story, please be aware that when it was made, it was intended to be a very long drama as one. In this drama, you'll come across the lead character played by Zhu Yilong, Wu Xie. He is a very famous character in the Lost Tomb web novel series. Many tomb adventures have already taken place for this character in the novel world before this drama story starts. My first impression of this drama is based on the first 20 episodes I've seen, and I'll give it a rating of 1 gold mine. Before I go into talk about this drama in more detail, I want to first say I am looking at this drama not from a book fan's point of view. I am not a big web novel reader myself. Especially this tomb adventure genre never really caught my attention. But I do know the existence of a couple of very famous IP in Chinese dramaland and web novel land, and I have some vague ideas about what the most famous characters are like from those books. So I'm only looking at this drama as a standalone drama, as an audience member who is not very familiar with its text origin. First, let me talk about the things I really do appreciate and love about this drama. The production quality is quite high. That includes the hardware stuff, the camera work, the color grading, the sound, CG, props, sets, all very well done. Most of the main lead roles also use their own voice to act, which is a plus, and I think that's super important because some of them are just too famous, too well known. If they got dubbed, it will totally destroy your viewing experience. I have to give a big thumb up to the set design department, to the prop design department of this drama, because a lot of the stuff happens in underground tombs of ancient artifacts, the mural paintings from ancient time, the statues and crazy bell structure that you're gonna come across in this drama. They're just so well built and feel so real. Together with the high quality CG, it does create this very convincing, very atmospherical ancient tomb underground. Especially for the props department. The human skin soldiers, the human hand shell, so well made and scares me, really. So a warning for all the drama viewers is if you are not a fan of slimy, dark, weird looking, frightening looking stuff, then you need to squint a lot while you're watching this drama. I also really love the chemistry between the leading roles, namely Pangzi, the fat guy, and Wu Xie, and joining in by the very dashing and very cool looking Zhang Qiling, this time played by the Chongqing actor Huang Junjie. He's been in quite a few dramas since last year. In most of those dramas, I didn't have a good impression of him as an actor, but I think this role, Zhang Qiling, really suits Huang Junjie so well. So far, I'm very happy with his screen portrayal of this legendary, almost god-like character. I am sold on their very tight relationship that has been built upon years and years of adventure together before the story even took place. So the main thing that actually prompts me to look at this drama every week when it updates is I want to see what happens for this iron triangle, as we call it. And I love the occasionally unexpected comedy that happens, mostly due to these characters interacting with each other. Those are the good things about this drama that I do enjoy watching. Then the things that I do not quite like about this drama and that affected my rating of only putting it right now at 1 gold mine. I think structurally, the story already has quite a lot of problems. It kind of requires the audience to know quite a lot about the background story of our leading roles. The story starts, so tiny spoiler here, with our leading role played by Zhu Yilong, Wu Xie, realizing he has terminal cancer. And he has very little time left in this world. There's something he always wanted to do, and he wouldn't want to die without accomplishing it, which is finding his missing uncle, the third uncle as he calls him, somebody he loves very much. So as you're watching the story, you see every step this character makes is due to the fact that he wants to find his uncle and he has to accomplish this task, and he realizes, okay, accomplishing this task is not enough, we need to do another thing and another thing that will lead to another thing. So it is a type of story that's very typical. But one problem I would have with this structure is it really does require the audience to know quite a lot about this character's background story. This drama doesn't really give you much time building up that relationship between the nephew and the uncle to make you believe that this person would care so much about the missing uncle that this is the last thing he want to do in this world. I would much love to at least have some solid emotional build-up of this nephew and uncle relationship that is strong enough to propel our lead character to go on this journey. But because I think the writer knows most of the people coming to this drama knows about all the previous stories that existed in other books about those characters, so he didn't really bother to give you any time to build up that. So as an audience who do not know much about its background story, even though the story has already started about the lead character's adventure, I am still not emotionally involved in his journey. There's so little time and focus given to that reason of why the lead role needs to do that. I feel a disconnection. That's one big problem I have with this story. So although I enjoy their adventure on the ground, I enjoy those happy and exciting and sometimes very scary moments that happens, I have a disconnection with this character. I also really do not like the part of the village plot that intertwines with the tomb plot. The drama keeps cutting back and forth between the tomb scenes and the sort of Southeast Asian, very hot, tropical kind of village scenes. I am honestly not really interested in that side of the story or the characters that show up in that storyline, because literally there's no introduction about who they are and what they do. Nothing. They just show up and we're supposed to care about them. Again, it is requesting the audience to know about who that character is in a previous how many books. I am only a person who has heard about these characters. I have no idea who they are. And that village storyline is very unnecessarily draggy. It really feels like it's there to make the drama longer. They made it 70 episodes. I mean, there's bound to be watered down, draggy elements, as you can imagine from any Chinese dramas. So while I was watching that part of the drama, I just fast forward all the village scenes, and it really doesn't help that the plotline that happens in the village is mostly riding on the xiazi, played by Chen Chuhe, and his weird romantic relationship with the mute girl that also I do not know who she is and do not care about. And that romantic relationship development, can we say, is just so meh. If you're watching, you know what I mean. Also, it doesn't help that the tomb adventure scenes are super dark. You have to turn your tablet's brightness to the top to be able to see what's going on screen. And then the day scenes in the village are super bright. So while you're watching at night, your eyes literally hurt when they do the cutting between the bright day and the total dark tomb. Because it's a drama, it goes on smaller screens, so they probably weren't worried about it. If it was a film, it will be really problematic. Because in film editing, if you have very dark and very bright scene right connected to each other, it causes the audience's really big discomfort. So usually you don't see that happening in cinema. For the drama, I guess they didn't care, but I suffered a lot watching, especially the first couple of episodes, constantly hurting my eyes. So by the point about 20 episodes, it has moved away from the first tomb adventure and the village intercutting scene. It has moved to the second stage of the storytelling, where our lead character needs to now work in a warehouse, a mysterious warehouse, because it is a necessary stage for him to find his uncle. So we're moving on to the second stage. I'm not sure when the first season ends whether the warehouse scenes are going to be completed and he's going to move to the third stage, or whether that's going to actually lead to the second season. But my honest reaction to the plot at this point is, if the fat guy, the Panz, and 小哥张起灵 do not join Wu Xie's adventure in the warehouse anytime soon, I probably would not be able to keep it in my mind, and I will definitely forget to check out the new updates when it happens every week. Because to me, the thing that actually is hooking me to the story is the lead character's relationship. And if Wu Xie, this role, is cut out of that and now he is on his own doing a new adventure with the newly introduced character played by Mao Xiaotong, it's not enough to pull me in this story. And like I said, because right from the beginning I wasn't sold on why it is so important for a leading character to find his uncle, and when the story has moved to this stage where he needs to do another big task, I feel a level of exhaustion as an audience. Can you just get it over with and bring him back to the core group of characters that I love to see him interacting with? And I wish in the writing of this script there was more given to the emotional depth of those characters. Right now you're just seeing this plot kind of happening on cue. It's like he has to do this, therefore it leads to do that, and then it leads to that, and then yeah. But in the background, there's very little emotional support for the plot to happen for the character. And I would say even like my good opinions about the lead actor Zhu Yilong and my emotional attachment due to Guardian is not enough to hold me down to the story. I'm worried about, by the end of the first season, what the story is gonna become of, and then how it's gonna connect to the second half that's been manually basically cut away from the first part. I think for Reboot, the Lost Tomb 3 drama, most of the actors are doing a good job. Their characters are played to the most they could possibly do with that script. But I would say the script is really not a very well structured story. It doesn't have enough hooks. It doesn't give enough space for you to build up an emotional attachment to any of the characters. Maybe the creators of this drama are just not hoping for people who know very little about this franchise to get into it. They're assuming that everybody knows everything before they're going to watch this drama. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. So that level of disconnect is there for me, and it does hinder me from getting into this story. Still, at the end of this video, I would say Reboot The Lost Tomb 3 is a pretty well produced drama. If it is a genre that you really love, if you are the original book fan, or if you are a big fan of any of the main leads, then it is still a pretty enjoyable drama to watch. But do be aware, it is not a 32 episode drama, it is a 65 to 70 episodes long drama. So sit tight and you have a big Tomb adventure ahead of you. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching. And I hope you will never come across a human hand shell.